Hello everyone. I have managed to attain 100% completion on these Rockstar games, including their DLC content as well. But what game and DLC was the most frustrating to complete? To find out, we will start from least frustrating to most frustrating, based on my own opinions. GTA San Andreas was proven by me to be the least frustrating game to attain 100% completion in, since it is very forgiving, with the requirements for 100%, and I found it mostly fun to do everything, like doing activities, missions, races, improving CJ's stats, and more. Here are the pros. The 100% completion did not require you to do any stunt, jumps, or flying under bridges, which I always found pointless to game progression anyways and are only good for awarding you achievement for doing them. The game's story was pretty good, especially for a very old GTA title, and you get to have access to all kinds of things when completing side missions like nitro-fueled taxis, a jetpack, or increased stats from collectibles. The collectibles are not even that hard to get all of them, especially when you unlock the jetpack. And for the cons, the only thing that kind of made me infuriated about was the bullshit long paramedic mission that you had to do or the game crashing a few times. But nothing terrible. This was a very casual experience to 100% the game, and I can see why the game is beloved by many fans. Holy hell, to say I found and did Nightmare to be a lot more engaging and fun than the main game itself is really saying something. This DLC had you take part in missions where characters from the main game had suffered from a zombie apocalypse, and you have to go around blasting zombies in many crazy ways, saving towns and survivors, and finding and real horses and Sasquatches. The pros are you will have a lot of fun playing this DLC, getting insane new weapons like a blunderbuss or holy water and completely destroying zombies with them is intensely satisfying, as the challenges you need to do for completion is really fun to do, apart from the zombie sniping challenge obviously. And when you 100% the game, you can craft anything without using resources, so you can mow down zombie hordes endlessly. There's only a few cons for attaining 100% on and did Nightmare. The fact that you progress very slow at the beginning of the game and have to mostly melee can be a little tedious, but it no longer becomes a problem when you progress through the main missions and unlock more guns to use. And also for the fact that some legendary animals takes way too long to spawn sometimes, which can be annoying. But other than that, this DLC is great to 100%. I did not have much to say about attaining 100% completion on the Lost and Damned for GTA 4. There is not that much main missions or strangers to find, so going through it normally was just another walk in the park. It had a decent story, And it really did not take me that long to 100% the DLC. It's really not that bad. The pros were that I only had to kill 50 seagulls just to get access to a bike. And like the 200 fucking pigeons you have to kill in the main game of GTA 4. But we will get to that later. I like that the friend hangouts were easy, since Terry and Clay both come along to hang out. And getting on your bike after doing the activity will instantly end the hangout, which was nice. And the races were pretty decent in my opinion. For the cons, I got frustrated from having to do 25 gang wars. You see, when you win more gang wars, the harder they get. And I constantly had to reload saves because a max hardened gang member would die permanently, or I kept getting killed from random explosions. It was just brutal and took hours for me to complete all 25 wars. And also because the atmosphere of this DLC in the game is more moody and dirty looking. It made playing through it boring at times. It is not a bad DLC, but it's certainly not amazing. Oh boy, this game was a nice throwback to me playing this game years ago. It was such a masterpiece. Anyways, despite how long it took to 100% the game, what mostly made the entire playthrough enjoyable was the brilliant story, challenges, things to discover, how lively the game felt, and of course the weapons. The pros were how casual the game felt, with it providing checkpoints in missions like from GTA 5, many mini games being simple enough to win in for completion, and how forgiving the game mechanics were. It was already challenging enough for how many things I had to do to attain 100% completion, so these were what made my playthrough more casual than frustrating. But that doesn't mean there are some horrible cons. For the cons, obtain the fucking Savvy Merchant outfit. I truly hated this one because there is a scrap for it where you have to earn at least $1,000 in gambling totals in order to receive the scrap. So if you lost more than you earned karma. It will take longer to get it. The only chance I had was poker karma. But I suck as at Texas Hold'em poker. I really in. So I had to cheese it by going all in the moment I played. It was a very tedious process, but I still got it in the end. Then there was the ire in the missions. Sometimes, my allies would straight up fall off a cliff or run into heavy enemy fire and die before I can react to saving them in time. I am not sure if I just got unlucky with the AI or something, but it made playing through some missions borderline unfair and frustrating. And lastly, because of the aiming, it felt off and auto-aim didn't seem to improve it by a large margin. The game is still really good to 100% though. Here we go, GTA for the Ballad of Gay Tony. I really love the story for this DLC, and to be honest, this was both very fun and fun to go for completion on it though. Oh brother you already knew GT4 would be near the top of the food chain. The story was a masterpiece and Nico Bellic was a very good character to play. I loved the huge variety of things you could do, like meeting all kinds of different strangers and seeing some that you spared. From the decisions you make, all the choices the game gives you that completely makes the story more exciting, and the huge amount of characters you associate with. The pros were how casual the gameplay was. I didn't die or get busted once from playing all the main missions. I really enjoyed the stereotypical humor and the characters throughout the game. The atmosphere was average. It was not anything like the Ballad of Gay Tony, but it was at least not like The Lost and Damned either. It was just in between. Now for the cons. This game fucking sucks as to 100% SG. Oh, sorry about that. Anyways, there's a ton of cons for this one, so buckle up. Let's get the biggest one out of the way. The fucking pigeons. The fact that you have to go around and kill 200 goddamn birds all over the entire map, where some are in restricted areas or hidden parts of the map no one would look in, was just complete bullshit by a developer that smoked too much crack. And the reward for killing every pigeon isn't even worth it. You get a badass APC tank in the Ballad of Gay Tony when you kill 50 seagulls, but here you get a shitty helicopter with terrible mounted turrets that you can only get to by helicopter. The best part also is that it doesn't even tell you where the helicopter you get is. You have to look for it, or just Google about it. It really sucked that killing 200 pigeons was a requirement. And there were the stunt jumps. And like GTA San Andreas where they were completely optional, or GTA 5 where you only had to do 25 instead of 50 for 100% completion was understandable. Here you have to do all 50 stunt jumps for the 100% completion. That was fucking stupid. When GTA 4 came out, how the hell was anyone supposed to guess where specific stunt jumps would be at? Thank goodness there are some saviors like GTA series where they uploaded a full video guide on all GTA for stunt jumps, and the fact you could only do most stunt jumps only on a bike was overkill, especially when you get to Alderney, where you have to make huge jumps off of very high up highway bridges and hope you don't die or get a not good enough. It was a disaster. Doing every stunt jump was not fun. It just felt pointless and frustrating instead. This is the reason why I don't like the stunt jumps in any GTA game whatsoever, and I may have told you that I never had any trouble when going through the main missions, but here's a little secret. Be sure to not tell anyone else. I did have trouble with them. Why? The shitty ally and your friends constantly bugging you to hang out with them. Why don't I just ignore my friends then? Because that is just harsh and you can lose like and respect with them if you ignore them. And I needed their abilities to make getting the 100% completion more quicker. Also you have to do Stevie's car exports for 100% completion, and you do make good money from it. But money was the least of my concerns, and every export took too long and was repetitive. And friend hangouts were not like the GTA for DLCs. You had to take Brocky, Little Jacob, and Packy individually. On every available activity with them when they were even available. Do you see what I mean? It just felt like I was doing chores rather than having fun in the hangouts. I had to remember which activity they will go on, and I have to go do it with them. It gets frustrating really quick. And it just took way too long. But overall, GTA 4 is just a really good game with amazing story that many will love to play casually on. unless you are going for 100% completion. And here is the most frustrating GTA game to get 100% completion. You know what? No, I don't need to explain it in further details about the pros and cons of why this one is extremely frustrating to 100%. Just look it up and see for yourself. Have a good day, everyone.